That sound you're hearing isn't thunder. It's the earth-shaking stomp of a Brontosaurus.
I forgot to mention I got laid off in the community post and spent a few weeks scrambling for a new job instead of working on videos. I have a new job now and the Fire Emblem retrospective is nearly complete. I'm going to cram 2 Prehistoric Kingdom dev diaries in this video to make up for lost time. Plus, I want to see how much I can push myself in video making. Let's start with August. The devs are working on issues reported after the release of Update 11. They're also working on improving camera controls for laptop players and allowing new key bindings. You'll be able to rotate the camera with the Q and E keys instead of moving the camera up and down. I'm going to tell you something funny. I think I broke the center mouse button from playing too much Prehistoric Kingdom. I'm dead serious. Rotating the camera left and right doesn't work very well anymore. I'll be taking advantage of this even though I'm on PC. They're almost done with an objective system that ties in with tutorials, alerts, and park issues. I always found blinking highlights help make tutorials in real-time strategy and simulation games easier to follow. Strategy and sim games with good tutorials always grabbed me more. The most exciting part is that this system is built with missions and quests in mind. It sounds like they want to add more characters to the world of Prehistoric Kingdom. I believe the devs want to use this to add more story and lore to the game. A park builder is not going to have a plot, but they can use the tutorial to teach you how to play while telling a little story to help immerse you into the world. Plenty of games have done this before. We have a species spotlight for Update 12. They released 2 beautiful trailers for Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus. I only used small snippets in this video. I recommend checking them out if you haven't seen them. We also get another look at Ankylosaurus. I love the green. Have you ever seen guests getting a little too excited over the bathroom? They're going to fix that. People will crowd more realistically around exhibits and walk closer to the fence to get better views. They won't be able to see through walls and trees anymore. Guests will use higher elevation to see further. I've wondered about this, so this is good info for me. It's not implemented yet, but it's good to know when the fix arrives. Staff will continue to improve. They will try to take the shortest path and will also carry more. If you have multiple empty feeders, the keeper will carry more food with them instead of filling one feeder, going back to the storage to restock, and then walking to the next feeder. They'll immediately move from one feeder to the next. I figured staff improvement would be a thing. All the staff in-game currently have a low star rating. Once this mechanic launches, you can train to improve your staff. As they improve, they'll gain buffs. Different roles will get different perks. The more skilled your staff becomes, the more you need to pay to keep them happy and work for you. A good reminder that this game still takes place in a fantasy setting. The side note is about adding a way to eventually let players adjust prices for tickets and amenities park-wide. What's more interesting to me is scaling down the economy for balance and readability. This is a good call. Yeah, it's nice to see that you made $1 billion, but when there are too many digits on screen, it does take a bit to count and figure out how much it is. So let's say something costs $1 million to buy before will only require $100,000 to buy now. It's probably less realistic, but it just makes it easier to read the numbers. This is what they mean by scaling down the economy. They're prioritizing readability for the player. Work on ontogeny is trucking along. It'll have growth stages from babies to adults for all the existing and future animals. Here's a little preview of their baby Apatosaurus. If you think about how many animals we currently have, the devs just doubled or even tripled their work. That's why we have to be patient. This won't be coming anytime soon. Finally, they talk about animal awareness. Not sure when this is coming, but they're working on making the animal AI to be aware of each other. Animals will socialize with each other. If they see a predator, they will run away. More exciting features will be built on top of the behavior. Now for the September diary. They're developing the tutorial and the update is almost done. We can expect another trailer in October and the release date. We get to see the new Ankylosaurus skin color. I love it. The green before looks nice, but the contrasting colors of the yellow and dark brown just pops more. Even though green is my favorite color, I like the skin more. Here we get a look at the new rustic theme. It's inspired by US national parks. The building and prefab pieces will have more wood and materials that look aged. The wood will have more 3D geometry for detail. Judging by the pictures, these stone textures look like they pop out more instead of just being a flat texture. Speaking of details, I hope they improve the arid cobblestone textures cause the stone looks so flat. But getting back, the rustic theme also includes new decorations. I can already think of so many uses for the hollow log object. Here is a look at the upcoming coastal map. It's still being finalized, but it looks like this map will have more elevated terrain with plateaus. The coastal biome is also getting more plants to help improve the look. Currently, it's the biome with the least amount of plants. For the basic theme, they're adding a raw wood texture to tiles and planks. The modern theme is getting new stone material, polished terrazzo, whatever that is, and an extra coat of paint and new wood materials. Update 12 will also come with a complete overhaul for the official prefab buildings. They want you to be able to make a beautiful looking park without the need to download it from Steam Workshop or for folks who don't want to build their own. The community created amazing builds on Steam Workshop, but I think the devs also want to put forth their A game to not fall behind. They're adding guest facilities for every theme. The buildings will be the same size regardless of theme. If you plop down a basic theme restaurant and you want to change to a modern theme, it'll take up the same amount of space. Buildings such as loading bays and staff center won't change. They might go back to them later down the line if there's enough demand. I think it's too early to worry about changing them anyway since they've only just been released. Plus, I think they look great. What they should work on is improving the rock structures. The rock structures were built using the old rocks, and they look weird with the new ones. Some rocks will clip unnaturally into statues unless you adjust them. This is stuff for the future beyond Update 12. No word on when they'll be done. We have another look at ontogeny. Things are still moving along. The animals will grow in real time and they're making sure the body proportions match the fossil records. This is a very ambitious goal, and it'll be tricky. The growth for most of the animals in-game is still poorly understood due to the lack of fossils. All I can say is good luck. Here's a look at the growth stage of Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops. They don't have the normal maps for the babies ready yet, and the ridges and bumps will be toned down at release. So remember how they said there would only be one baby skin in a previous update? That's changed. Alternate species will have different skin patterns like what you see here for Triceratops horridus and Triceratops porosus. Some will be simpler, such as a different color, but that's still more than expected. There's also going to be sexual dimorphism. It'll be more noticeable for animals with horns and tusks. Their growth will stop earlier, making them thinner. I think this face is what ontogeny looked like at first, so you can see all the progress they've made since. Finally, they're working on tweaking different species to make them look more unique. You'll see a different silhouette for all three species of Camarasaurus. I know it says work in progress, but I think they can probably still make the arms of the Tarbosaurus smaller and thinner. As much as people make fun of T-Rex arms, Tarbosaurus arms are even smaller relative to their body size. So yeah, that's all for the August and September diaries. I'll be keeping an eye on Update 12 release when we have more news and a concrete release date.